Commander Anna Roberts couldn't sleep. She stood at the wide window of the U.S. Nightshade's observation deck, watching the stars drift by. Jupiter's moon Europa spun slowly beneath them, its icy surface hiding the secret that would soon change the galaxy forever. She ran her hand through her short brown hair, remembering the day 5 years ago, when the aliens first arrived on Earth. They had come with their shiny ships and advanced technology, acting like they were gods among insects. The Galactic Confederation, they called themselves. They had offered Earth protection and guidance, but all they really wanted was control. The door behind her slid open with a soft hiss. "Commander," said Chief Engineer Kevin Martinez, his heavy boots clicking against the metal floor. "The dark matter core is ready for the final test." Anna nodded, turning away from the window. Kevin looked tired, with dark circles under his eyes, but there was excitement in his voice. They had worked for 3 years on this project, hidden away in the underground bases beneath Europa's ice. While the Confederation thought they were teaching humanity basic space travel, Earth's best scientists had made a discovery that would shake the galaxy. "Show me," she said. They walked through the Nightshade's corridors. The ship was new, built in secret with technology the aliens didn't know humans could create. Its black halls absorbed light, making it look like they were walking through shadows. The crew they passed stood straight and proud, each wearing the dark blue uniform of Earth's hidden fleet. The engine room hummed with power. Behind thick walls of special shielding, a sphere of pure darkness floated in a containment field. It wasn't actually dark matter. Not exactly, but something humans had created by studying the mysterious substance that made up most of the universe. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Kevin said, checking the readings on his tablet. "The Confederation thinks we're still playing with basic fusion drives, but this," he smiled, "this could power 1,000 cities forever, or tear their biggest ships apart like paper." Anna was about to respond when her comm unit beeped. "Commander Roberts to the bridge." The voice of Lieutenant Peter Hall called. "Priority message from Admiral Nash." In the bridge, the main screen showed Admiral Robert Nash's face. He looked serious, his gray hair neatly combed, his eyes sharp. "Commander Roberts," he said, "is the ship ready?" "Yes, sir. We just finished the final checks on the dark matter core." "Good." Nash leaned forward. "Because it's time. The Confederation is planning something big. Our spies in their main embassy caught them talking about processing Earth's population. We don't know exactly what that means, but we're not going to wait to find out." Anna's hands tightened into fists. "The fleet is ready, sir. We've been training for this. Your first target is their monitoring station near Alpha Centauri. They use it to watch all ships going in and out of our solar system. Taking it out will blind them to what's coming next." Nash's face softened slightly. "Anna, what we're about to do, there's no going back. Once we show them what we can do, everything changes. With respect, sir, everything changed when they decided to treat us like pets instead of equals." Nash nodded. "You have your orders. The other ships in the fleet will launch within the hour." "Good hunting, Commander." Earth Command out. The bridge was quiet for a moment. Anna looked at her crew. Peter at Tactical, Lisa Wright at Communications, and the others. They were young, but they were ready. They had trained for this while the Confederation's observers weren't watching. "Send word to engineering," she ordered. "Tell Kevin to bring the dark matter core to full power. Lieutenant Wright, send the coded message to our other ships. Lieutenant Hall, plot a course for Alpha Centauri." The Nightshade's engines pulsed with purple energy as the dark matter core spun up to full power. On her screen, Anna could see 4 other ships rising from their hidden bases on Europa. The U.S. Shadowblade, Darkstorm, Eclipse, and Nebula. Each one carried the same secret weapon, each one crewed by humans who had worked in secret for this day. As they passed Jupiter's orbit, Anna thought about what they were about to do. The Confederation had thousands of ships, but none of them could stand against what humanity had created. The aliens thought they were so advanced, but they had missed something important about humans. When backed into a corner, humans didn't give up. They got creative. They got dangerous. Dark matter core at full power. Kevin's voice reported from engineering. She's purring like a kitten, Commander. All ships report ready, Lisa added from her station. They're forming up behind us now. Anna stood from her command chair, looking at the main screen where the stars waited. Somewhere out there, the Confederation was going about its business, thinking Earth was safely under control. They had no idea what was coming. Set course for Alpha Centauri, she ordered. Maximum speed. The stars blurred as the dark matter drive engaged. The Nightshade moved faster than any Confederation ship could track, leading Earth's secret fleet toward their first target. As they traveled, Anna read through the final intelligence reports on her tablet. The monitoring station was heavily defended with shields and weapons that the Confederation thought were far beyond human understanding. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The dark matter weapons didn't just go through shields. They broke the laws of physics that made those shields work. Commander, Peter called from Tactical. I'm picking up Confederation patrol ships near Saturn. They haven't seen us. Keep our stealth systems engaged, Anna ordered. Let them think everything's normal. The patrol ships passed by, their crews probably bored, doing their routine check of the solar system. They had no idea they were the last Confederation ships that would ever patrol Earth's space freely. Hours passed as they crossed the vast distance to Alpha Centauri. The crew was quiet, focused on their tasks. They all knew what was at stake. If they failed, Earth would face serious consequences. But if they succeeded, everything would change. 5 minutes to target, Peter announced. Anna opened the ship-wide comm. All hands, this is the commander. What we do today will be remembered forever. The Confederation came to Earth thinking they found another primitive species to control. Today, we show them how wrong they were. Today, we show them that humanity will not be contained, will not be controlled, and will not be treated like children. Battle stations. Red lights flashed as the crew prepared for combat. The other ships in the fleet signaled their readiness. On the main screen, the Alpha Centauri system grew larger, and with it, the massive Confederation monitoring station came into view. They're hailing us, Lisa reported. They want to know why we're here. They're saying we don't have permission to leave the solar system. Anna smiled. No response needed, Lieutenant. Weapons? Dark matter torpedoes armed and ready, Peter replied. All ships in the fleet report the same. The monitoring station grew larger on their screen. It was beautiful in its way. A massive structure of silver and blue, surrounded by a shield that glowed with rainbow colors. The Confederation thought those shields made them safe. They were about to learn differently. All ships target their main power core, Anna ordered. Fire when ready. 5 black streams of energy shot out from the Earth ships. The Confederation station's shields flared brilliantly, and then simply ceased to exist. The dark matter weapons passed through where the shields had been and struck the station's hull. Where they hit, reality itself seemed to tear open, leaving wounds in space through which strange lights flickered. The station's defenders never had a chance to fire back. Secondary explosions rippled through the massive structure as its power grid overloaded. Emergency pods launched from its sides, carrying surviving crew members away from the destruction. Direct hits, Peter reported, his voice steady but excited. Stations breaking up. Their shields, they just disappeared, Commander. Complete shield failure across the entire structure. Send word to Earth Command, Anna ordered. First target destroyed. Operation Daybreak is successful. She watched as the station broke apart, pieces of it drifting into space, and send a message on all Confederation frequencies. This is Commander Anna Roberts of the Earth Defense Fleet. For too long, you have treated humanity like children. Those days are over. We are not your subjects. We are not your students. And we are not afraid of you anymore. The bridge crew cheered as Lisa sent the message. Anna watched the destruction on the screen, knowing that across Confederation space, alarm bells would be ringing. The powerful aliens who thought they controlled humanity were about to learn a hard lesson. Never underestimate those you think are beneath you. Plot a course for our next target, she ordered. The Confederation is about to have a very bad day. The Earth fleet turned as one, their dark matter drives powering up again. Behind them, the wreckage of the monitoring station continued to break apart, and with it, the Confederation's hold on humanity began to crumble. Lieutenant Peter Hall watched his tactical screen as dozens of red dots appeared. The Confederation was finally responding to their attack on the monitoring station, sending ships from every nearby system. He allowed himself a small smile. Let them come. Multiple ships approaching, Commander, he reported to Anna Roberts. Looks like 3 of their heavy cruisers and about 12 smaller vessels. Commander Roberts stood at the center of the Nightshade's bridge, her face calm. Right on schedule. They always send exactly 15 ships to deal with minor threats. Seems they still think we're primitive. The Confederation ships were beautiful in a strange way. They looked like giant silver arrows with glowing blue rings around their hulls. These were ships that usually made humans feel small and weak. Not anymore. Message from the Lid Confederation ship, Lisa Wright announced from her communication station. They're ordering us to power down our engines and prepare to be boarded. They're saying this is inappropriate behavior from a protected species. Several bridge crew members laughed at that. They weren't feeling very protected right now. Send them our response, Anna ordered. Fire 2 dark matter torpedoes at their flagship. The black streams of energy shot out from the Nightshade's bow. The Confederation ships didn't even try to dodge. Why should they? Their shields had always been strong enough to stop anything. But as the torpedoes hit the flagship's shields, something amazing happened. The shield bubble didn't just fail. It seemed to dissolve into nothing. The torpedoes continued on, striking the ship's hull. Where they hit, reality itself seemed to tear open. The front half of the massive cruiser simply ceased to exist, leaving the back half to drift helplessly in space. By all the stars, one of the bridge crew whispered. The remaining Confederation ships scattered like startled birds. Their weapons fired back, bright beams of energy that the Nightshade's own shields easily absorbed. The dark matter technology worked for defense just as well as offense. U.S. Shadow Blade reports ready to engage, Lisa said. Captain Rivers is requesting permission to target the smaller ships. Anna nodded. Tell all ships, engage at will. Show them what humanity can do. The space around them lit up with weapons fire. The Earth ships moved with impossible speed, their dark matter drives letting them appear and disappear almost instantly. The Confederation ships tried to fight back, but their weapons were useless against the dark matter shields. In engineering, Chief Kevin Martinez watched his screens with growing concern. Commander, he called up to the bridge. I'm seeing something strange with these dark matter reactions. The tiers in space aren't closing up like they should. Explain, Anna ordered, watching as another Confederation ship broke apart under their attack. When we hit something with the dark matter weapons, it creates a small tear in space-time. They're supposed to heal themselves, but Kevin paused, checking his readings again. They're staying open, and they're getting bigger. Before Anna could respond, Peter called out from tactical. More Confederation ships incoming. Bigger ones this time. I think that's their 7th fleet. The main screen showed at least 30 new ships appearing from faster-than-light travel. These weren't the usual patrol ships. These were the real warships of the Confederation, each one bigger than anything humanity had built before the Dark Matter Project. They're broadcasting on all frequencies, Lisa reported. They're saying this is our last chance to surrender. They're threatening to declassify Earth as a protected world. Anna's face hardened. Send a message to all our ships. Target pattern Delta. Let's show them what happens when you threaten our world. The 5 Earth ships moved into formation. Their dark matter cores pulsed with power, sending waves of purple energy rippling through space. The Confederation fleet approached, their weapons charging, their massive ships casting shadows on the stars. "All ships report ready," Peter said. Dark matter torpedoes locked on multiple targets. Fire. The space between the fleets erupted with black energy streams. The Confederation ships tried to evade, finally realizing these weren't normal weapons. But they were too late. Ship after ship lost their shields, their hulls torn open by weapons that ignored the laws of physics. But something was wrong. Kevin's voice came from engineering again, more urgent now. "Commander, the tiers are definitely getting bigger. They're starting to pull in matter from around them. If this continues..." A massive explosion cut him off. One of the Confederation ships had tried to activate its faster-than-light drive too close to a dark matter tear. The resulting explosion created an even bigger tear in space, one that started pulling in debris from the battle. "All ships, pull back," Anna ordered. "Stay away from the tiers." The Earth fleet retreated to a safe distance, watching as the Confederation ships tried to do the same. Some made it. Others were too close to the tiers, their engines not powerful enough to escape the pull. 3 of the massive alien ships were torn apart, pulled into holes in reality that shouldn't exist. "The remaining Confederation ships are retreating," Peter reported. "They're jumping to faster than light, all except one." A single Confederation ship remained. It was smaller than the others, probably a communication vessel. Its commander was broadcasting on an open channel. "You don't know what you've done," the alien voice said, speaking perfect English. "These weapons, they're breaking reality itself. Stop this now before it's too late." Anna looked at her crew, then at the screen showing the growing tiers in space. "We tried to be peaceful," she replied. "We tried to work with the Confederation. You treated us like children, like pets to be trained. Everything that happens now is because of that choice." The Confederation ship turned and fled, jumping to faster-than-light speed just as another tear in space formed where the battle had been most intense. "Damage report," Anna called out. "No damage to our ships," Peter replied. The dark matter shields held perfectly. But he gestured to his screen, showing the tiers in space. "What do we do about those?" Kevin's voice came over the comm again. "Commander, I've been analyzing the tiers. They're not just holes in space, they're more like wounds in reality. And they're not healing. Every time we use the dark matter weapons, we make more of them. If this continues, they could start merging, growing larger." "Could they threaten inhabited systems?" Anna asked. "Eventually, yes. These tiers don't follow normal space-time rules. They could appear anywhere these weapons have been used." The bridge was quiet as everyone considered this. They had their victory. The mighty Confederation fleet had run from their weapons. But at what cost? "Send word to Earth Command," Anna ordered. "Tell them about the tiers. But also tell them that the Confederation now knows we're not helpless anymore. They know we can hurt them." As Lisa sent the message, Anna watched the strange lights flickering in the tiers their weapons had created. They had wanted freedom from Confederation control, and they had found a way to get it. But now she wondered if the price might be higher than anyone had expected. "Plot a course for the next target," she ordered. "The Confederation needs to understand that we're serious. We'll deal with the consequences when we have our freedom." The Nightshade and its sister ships turned away from the battlefield, their dark matter drives powering up. Behind them, the tiers in space continued to grow slowly, pulling in debris from the destroyed ships. Somewhere in Confederation space, alarms were sounding as reports came in about the impossible weapons the humans had created. The war for Earth's freedom had begun. But as they headed toward their next target, Anna couldn't help but wonder. In breaking free from the Confederation's control, had they started something they couldn't stop? Dr. Michelle Foster stared at her computer screen aboard the U.S. Nightshade, her face lit by the glow of complicated charts and diagrams. As the fleet's lead scientist, she had helped develop the dark matter weapons. Now she was starting to regret it. Commander Roberts needs to see this, she muttered, gathering her data tablets. The tiers in space weren't just staying open. They were growing, and something even worse was happening. In the ship's conference room, Commander Anna Roberts sat with her senior staff. They had just finished watching reports from across Confederation space. Their attacks had worked better than anyone had expected. Maybe too well. The aliens are running scared, Lieutenant Peter Hall was saying. Their ships are avoiding any system where we've been spotted. They've even abandoned 3 of their border stations. Before anyone could celebrate this news, Dr. Foster burst into the room. Commander, we have a serious problem. She connected her tablet to the main screen. It showed a map of known space, with red dots marking where they had used their weapons. The tiers aren't just growing. They're connecting to each other through subspace, like tunnels between moons. Kevin Martinez, the chief engineer, leaned forward. That's why our sensors showed strange energy readings after the last battle. The tiers are talking to each other. Exactly, Michelle said. And there's more. Look at this. She changed the display to show readings from their latest battle. The tiers are affecting normal space around them. Gravity, time, even light behaves differently near them. If they keep growing. She didn't need to finish. Everyone in the room understood what it meant. Their weapons weren't just destroying ships. They were breaking the basic rules that held the galaxy together. The room's screen beeped with an incoming message. It was Admiral Nash from Earth Command. Commander Roberts, he said, his face serious. We've just received a transmission from the Confederation's High Council. They'd want to talk. Anna straightened in her chair. About what? They're scared, Anna. Really scared. We've intercepted their internal communications. They've never seen anything like our weapons, and they don't know how to stop them. Before Nash could continue, Lisa Wright's voice came over the ship's comm system. Commander, you need to see this. Switching to external cameras. The screen split, showing what was happening outside the ship. A nearby tear in space had doubled in size in just a few minutes. As they watched, it pulled in a small asteroid, which simply vanished into the darkness. Dr. Foster, Anna turned to her science officer. What happens to the matter that goes into these tiers? Michelle shook her head. We don't know. It could be destroyed, or it could be going somewhere else, somewhere outside our universe. Admiral Nash had been listening quietly. Commander, whatever we decide to do about the Confederation's offer, we need to understand these weapons better. I'm getting reports of tiers appearing in systems we haven't even attacked yet. They're spreading, Michelle explained. Like cracks in a window, they're creating weak points in space. Each tear makes it easier for new tiers to form. The conference room door opened again. A junior officer rushed in, looking worried. Commander, we're getting emergency signals from 3 different Confederation worlds. They're reporting tiers appearing in their atmospheres, one of their colony worlds. Half of its ocean just disappeared into a tier. Anna stood up, her face grim. Dr. Foster, how long do we have before this gets completely out of control? Michelle checked her data. At the current rate of growth and spread, maybe a week, maybe less. Each new tear makes all the others grow faster. Admiral Nash spoke up from the screen. The Confederation is offering immediate recognition of Earth's independence. They'll remove all their monitoring stations and give us full rights as a sovereign species. In return, they want our help understanding and stopping these tiers. Can we trust them? Peter asked. Right now, they're too scared to try anything, Nash replied. For the first time in their history, they're facing something they can't control or understand. And it's not just them. We're getting messages from other alien species too. Everyone's terrified. As if to emphasize his point, another alarm sounded. Lisa's voice came over the comm again. Commander, the tear near Proxima Centauri just merged with 2 others. It's now bigger than Earth's moon. Anna looked at her crew, then at the screen showing the growing tiers in space. They had wanted to show the Confederation that they weren't helpless. They had succeeded beyond their wildest dreams, but now they faced a choice: continue their revolution and maybe destroy the galaxy, or work with their former oppressors to fix what they had broken. Doctor, she turned to Michelle, if we stop using the weapons now, will the tears still grow? Yes, Michelle answered honestly. The process has already started. We need to find a way to close them, or at least slow them down. And we'll need help. This is bigger than anything humanity can handle alone. Anna took a deep breath. Admiral, tell the Confederation we accept their offer with conditions. We'll help them stop this, but Earth remains free. No more protection, no more treating us like children. Agreed. Nash nodded. I'll set up a meeting with their High Council. In the meantime, your orders are to gather as much data as possible about these tiers. We need to understand what we're dealing with. After the Admiral signed off, Anna looked at her crew. I know this isn't the victory we wanted, but maybe it's the wake-up call the galaxy needed. The Confederation thought they knew everything, that they could control everything. Now they know better. Michelle was already working on her tablet. I'm receiving data from Confederation scientists. Their understanding of subspace mechanics might help us find a solution. They're actually treating us as equals now. Amazing what the threat of universal destruction will do for diplomatic relations, Peter said with a grim smile. Another alarm sounded through the ship. This time, it was Kevin reporting from engineering. Commander, we're detecting massive energy spikes from all the nearby tiers. Something's changing. On the main screen, they watched as the tiers in space began to pulse with strange lights. The Nightshade sensors were going crazy, showing readings that shouldn't have been possible. All hands, battle stations. Anna ordered, whatever's happening, be ready for. She never finished the sentence. One of the tiers suddenly expanded, engulfing a nearby Confederation outpost. The structure didn't explode or break apart. It simply ceased to exist, as if it had never been there at all. Dr. Foster, Anna turned to her science officer. You have 1 hour. Work with the Confederation scientists. Find me something, anything that might help us control these tiers. Because if we don't solve this soon, there might not be a galaxy left to save. As the crew rushed to their stations, Anna stayed in the conference room for a moment, watching the tiers grow on the main screen. They had wanted freedom. They had wanted respect. Now they had both, but at what cost? And would they have time to enjoy their victory before their weapons destroyed everything? The answer, she feared, would come all too soon. The galaxy was running out of time, and the very weapons that had given humanity its freedom might end up being the death of everything they had fought to protect. Security Chief John Cooper moved silently through the halls of the Confederation's science station. After their agreement to work together, the aliens had invited Earth scientists to help study the growing tiers in space. But John didn't trust them. 20 years of security work had taught him that people, human or alien, rarely changed their ways just because they were scared. He stopped at a locked door, one that wasn't on any of the station's official maps. The small device in his hand, designed to crack Confederation security systems, made quick work of the lock. Inside, he found what he had feared: a hidden computer core. U.S. Nightshade, this is Cooper, he whispered into his comm unit. You need to see this. Sending data now. Aboard the Nightshade, Commander Anna Roberts watched as the files appeared on her screen. Her hands tightened into fists as she read. The Confederation hadn't just been watching Earth. They had been planning to use humanity as test subjects. The reports talked about genetic harvesting and species improvement programs. Get our people out of there, she ordered. Now. But before John could leave the hidden room, alarms started blaring throughout the station. At first, he thought he had been discovered. Then he saw the real reason through a nearby window. One of the tiers in space had appeared right next to the station. All personnel, evacuate immediately. A calm alien voice announced in multiple languages. Spatial anomaly detected in Sector 7. In the station's main laboratory, Dr. Michelle Foster was working with a group of Confederation scientists when the alarm sounded. They had been making progress, finding ways to possibly slow the tear's growth. Now they had to run. "Take the data," shouted Zix, one of the alien scientists. "Everything we've learned about the tears, we can't lose it." Michelle grabbed the data cores as they rushed toward the escape pods. Through the lab's windows, she could see the tear growing larger. It wasn't like the others. This one glowed with a strange purple light. "Commander," she called the nightshade while running. "The tear, it's different. The energy readings are off the charts." On the Nightshade's bridge, Anna watched as the situation unfolded. The tear was growing faster than any they had seen before, and it was pulling the station apart piece by piece. "Get our shuttles in there," she ordered. "Save as many as we can. Human or alien, doesn't matter." The Nightshade shuttles launched, racing toward the doomed station. John Cooper was helping evacuate a group of scientists when part of the corridor in front of them simply vanished into the tear. "This way," he shouted, leading them down another path. They'd reached the shuttle bay just as another section of the station disappeared. Michelle and her group of alien scientists were among the last to reach the shuttles. As they flew back to the Nightshade, she watched the station break apart. But instead of exploding, the pieces were being pulled into what looked like different tiers, each one glowing with a different color. "The tiers," Zix said quietly beside her. "They're not just holes in space anymore. They're changing." Back on the Nightshade's bridge, Lieutenant Lisa Wright was receiving emergency signals from across the galaxy. "Commander, it's happening everywhere. The tiers are changing color, growing faster. Some are even moving." "Moving?" Anna asked. "How?" "Like they're hunting," Peter Hall said from his tactical station. "The bigger ones are absorbing the smaller ones, getting stronger." Dr. Foster rushed onto the bridge as soon as their shuttle docked. "Commander, we found something in our research. The tiers aren't just destroying space. They're rewriting it. Every time we used the dark matter weapons, we weren't just making holes. We were changing the basic rules of how space works." And now those changes are spreading, Kevin Martinez added from engineering. "It's like a virus, infecting reality itself." The main screen showed new tiers appearing across known space. Some were small, barely able to swallow an asteroid. Others were massive, large enough to consume entire planets, and all of them were growing. "Dr. Foster," Anna turned to her science officer. "The data you saved. Is there anything in there that can help us?" Michelle connected her data core to the ship's computer. "Maybe. We were working on a theory. The dark matter weapons didn't just create tiers. They created points where different universes touch each other. That's why the tiers glow different colors. Each one is connected to a different reality." "Different universes?" Anna asked. "You mean parallel worlds?" "Something like that. But it's worse than we thought. The tiers aren't just windows to other universes. They're trying to merge them. And our universe, it's fighting back." As if to prove her point, a massive shockwave rippled through space. Everyone on the bridge grabbed hold of something as the ship shook. "What was that?" Anna demanded. "Reality itself," Michelle explained. "Like antibodies fighting an infection. The universe is trying to heal itself. But the tiers, they're too strong now. Too numerous." John Cooper, who had just arrived on the bridge, spoke up. "Commander, those files I found. The Confederation knew something like this might happen. They had theories about weapons that could break reality. That's why they tried to keep humanity from developing advanced technology. They weren't just being controlling. They were scared of what we might create. And they were right to be scared," Michelle added. "We did it. We made their worst nightmare come true." Another shockwave hit, stronger this time. On the main screen, they could see a nearby star system, where 3 tiers had merged into one massive void. The void was pulling in everything around it: planets, asteroids, even light itself. "Commander," Lisa called out, "message from Earth Command." Admiral Nash says we need to make a choice. The Confederation is proposing a joint mission. They think there might be a way to close the tiers, but it would mean sacrificing our dark matter technology. All of it. Hannah looked at her crew. They had fought so hard for Earth's freedom, used these weapons to break free from alien control. But now those same weapons threatened everything. How long do we have to decide? She asked Michelle. Hours, maybe. The tiers are growing exponentially now. Soon they'll be too big to stop. Before Anna could respond, Peter shouted from Tactical. Commander, one of the tiers just appeared inside a star. The star it's going supernova. They watched in horror as the star exploded, its death throes amplified by the tear that had formed inside it. The explosion sent more shockwaves through space, creating new tiers as it went. Send word to Earth Command, Anna ordered. Tell them we accept the joint mission, whatever it takes to stop this. As Lisa sent the message, Michelle was already working with her data. Commander, if we're going to do this, we need to move fast. The tiers are starting to affect time itself now. In some places, time is moving faster. In others, it's slowing down or even going backward. How is that even possible? John asked. Because we didn't just break space, Michelle answered. We broke everything. The laws of physics, the rules of reality. They're all coming apart. And if we don't find a way to fix it soon. She didn't need to finish. Everyone on the bridge could see it on their screens. Tiers appearing faster and faster, growing larger, merging into voids that consumed everything they touched. The weapon they had created to free Earth was now threatening to destroy not just their galaxy, but all of reality itself. Plot a course for Earth, Anna ordered. We need to prepare for this mission, and pray we have enough time left to save what's left of our universe. As the nightshade turned toward home, the tiers in space continued to grow and change. The war for Earth's freedom had become something much bigger, a fight for the survival of reality itself. And time was running out. The U.S. Nightshade led a strange fleet toward the Confederation capital system. Behind it flew not just Earth's dark matter ships, but also hundreds of alien vessels. Enemies just days ago, now united by fear of what was happening to their galaxy. Commander Anna Roberts stood on her bridge, watching the massive fleet on her screens. Report, she ordered. 50 Earth ships, 300 Confederation vessels, and about 200 ships from other species. Peter Hall answered from Tactical. The biggest fleet ever assembled in known space. Lisa Wright spoke up from Communications. Commander, the Confederation High Council is ready to meet. They're waiting in the main chamber. Anna nodded. Dr. Foster, Chief Cooper, you're with me. Lieutenant Hall, you have the bridge. The teleport beam, borrowed from Confederation technology, took them directly to the alien Capitol building. The High Council chamber was huge, with seats for 1,000 different species. Today, only the Emergency Council was meeting. 20 beings from the most powerful worlds. Commander Roberts, the head counselor, a tall blue-skinned alien, greeted them. Our scientists have finished reviewing Dr. Foster's data. The situation is worse than we feared. Holograms appeared in the center of the room, showing the tiers spreading across the galaxy. Some were now larger than solar systems. Others moved like living things, hunting for more space to devour. The tiers have started merging with each other, Dr. Foster explained. Each merge makes them stronger and more unstable. At the current rate, they'll consume the entire galaxy within days. Can we evacuate to another galaxy? Someone asked. No, Michelle shook her head. The tiers aren't limited by normal space. They're appearing in other galaxies now too. The whole universe is infected. John Cooper stepped forward. Tell them what you found in the ancient records, he said to the head counselor. The blue alien looked uncomfortable. We have seen something like this before. Not the tiers themselves, but the effects. There are records, millions of years old, that speak of a civilization that broke reality. They vanished completely. along with their entire sector of space. What happened to them? Anna asked. We don't know. Their space simply ceased to exist, as if it had never been there at all. New alarms started ringing through the chamber. On the giant screens, they watched as 3 massive tiers merged near the edge of the galaxy. The void they created was bigger than anything they'd seen before. Commander, Lisa's voice came through Anna's comm unit. The tiers, they're starting to affect the capital system. We can see them forming near the outer planets. The council chamber erupted in panic. These were beings who had ruled the galaxy with calm confidence for thousands of years. Now they were facing something they couldn't control or understand. We have a plan, Michelle announced loudly, making everyone quiet down. But you're not going to like it. She connected her data tablet to the room's main computer. A complex diagram appeared, showing the dark matter drives and weapons. The tiers are connections between universes, she explained. Every time we used our weapons, we punched new holes between realities. But we might be able to use that same technology to close them. How? The head counselor asked. By creating a controlled tear, a big one, right in the center of the galaxy. If we do it right, it could act like a drain, pulling all the other tiers into it. Then we can close it from the inside. The room was silent as everyone understood what she meant. From the inside? Anna asked quietly. You mean? Yes, someone would have to take a ship into the central tear to close it. They wouldn't be coming back. Before anyone could respond, new alarms sounded. The capital system's outer planets were starting to break apart, pulled into the growing tiers. We don't have time to debate, Anna said. The Nightshade will do it. We created these weapons. We'll fix what we broke. Commander, Michelle touched her arm. The ship's AI can't handle this. Someone has to manually pilot into the tear and activate the collapse sequence. I know. Anna's face was set. That's why I'm going to do it myself. John Cooper stepped forward. Commander, no. Let me. This isn't a debate, Chief. Anna turned to the council. Order all ships to fall back to safe distance. Dr. Foster, get back to the Nightshade and prepare the dark matter core for overload. Anna, Michelle said quietly. There might be another way. There isn't time. Anna looked at the screens showing the destruction spreading across space. Get everyone to safety. That's an order. Back on the Nightshade, the crew worked frantically to prepare the ship. Kevin Martinez had modified the dark matter core to create the biggest tier they could manage. Course is set for the Galactic Center, Peter reported. But Commander, the tiers along the way. It's going to be like flying through a minefield. Then we'll just have to be quick, Anna said. She looked at her crew one last time. It's been an honor serving with all of you. Now get to the escape pods. Commander, Lisa stood up from her station. Message from the Confederation fleet. They're offering to escort us. To clear a path. Anna smiled. A few days ago, these aliens had been their enemies. Now, they were willing to die to help save everything. Tell them their help would be appreciated. As the crew evacuated, Anna sat alone on her bridge. Through the windows, she could see the tiers growing closer, their strange lights casting shadows across the ship. Core modifications complete. Kevin's voice came through the comm one last time. Good luck, Commander. It's been an honor. The Nightshade moved forward, surrounded by Confederation ships. Together, they flew toward the center of the galaxy, where the largest tear would need to be created. Ahead of them, space itself was coming apart. Reality buckled and twisted as the tiers grew and merged. Some ships in the escort were lost, pulled into the voids. Others were caught in time distortions, frozen in space. But the Nightshade kept going. Anna piloted through the chaos, avoiding the tiers that reached for her ship like hungry mouths. The dark matter core hummed behind her, building power for one final burst. This is Commander Roberts. She broadcast on all frequencies. Fall back now. Get to minimum safe distance. The escort ships turned away, leaving the Nightshade alone. Anna could see the spot where they needed to create the final tear, a place where several naturally occurring tears had already started to merge. "Computer, start core overload sequence," she ordered, "and send one last message to Earth Command. It's been an honor serving. Take care of our world." The dark matter core's whine grew louder. Warning lights flashed across the bridge. Ahead, the tears in space seemed to sense what was coming. They moved toward the ship like predators closing in for the kill. But they were too late. The core reached critical mass, and Anna pushed her ship forward into the heart of the chaos. The universe itself seemed to hold its breath as the Nightshade prepared to create one final tear, one that would either save everything or destroy what was left of reality itself. "Here goes nothing," Anna whispered, and pressed the button to begin the end. The galaxy held its breath as the U.S. Nightshade's dark matter core reached critical mass. From safe distances, thousands of ships watched through their sensors. On the bridge of her empty ship, Commander Anna Roberts gripped her controls tightly as reality itself started to bend around her. Core at maximum power, the ship's computer announced. "Warning, containment failure imminent." "That's what we want," Anna muttered. She watched as the tears in space around her ship grew larger, drawn to the enormous energy building in her vessel. Back on the Confederation capital planet, Dr. Michelle Foster stared at her readings with growing horror. "Something's wrong," she said to the gathered council. "The tears, they're not just being pulled toward the Nightshade. They're trying to fight back." On her screens, she could see the impossible happening. The tears in space were moving with purpose now, like living things protecting themselves. They swirled around the Nightshade, creating patterns that shouldn't exist in normal space. "Commander," Michelle called through the emergency channel. "The tears are conscious. The different universes, they're aware of what we're trying to do." In the Nightshade, Anna watched as strange lights danced around her ship. The tears weren't just holes in space anymore. They were windows into other realities, and something was looking back through them. "I see them," she replied calmly. "They look beautiful." The ship shuddered as the dark matter core pushed past its limits. Around the Nightshade, space itself began to crack like breaking glass. But instead of darkness beyond the cracks, there was light. Impossible colors from other universes bleeding into their reality. "Energy readings off the scale," the computer warned. "Core collapse in 30 seconds. On the capital planet, the High Council watched in amazement as the tears began to spiral toward the Nightshade. It looked like a giant whirlpool made of broken space and strange light. "It's working," Michelle whispered. "The tears are being drawn in." But she checked her readings again. "Commander, you need to activate the collapse sequence now, before the tears can adapt." Anna's fingers flew over her controls. The Nightshade's engines pushed the ship deeper into the chaos of broken space around it. Through her view screen, she could see other realities, countless different versions of the universe, all trying to push through into their world. 20 seconds to core collapse," the computer announced. "Commander Roberts," a new voice came through her comm. It was Kevin Martinez, speaking from one of the evacuation ships. "The core is going to create a massive tear when it blows. You need to be in exactly the right position." "I know, Kevin." Anna smiled sadly. "Take care of the next generation of ships for me, and make sure they come with better safety features." The tears were closing in now, drawn by the immense power building in the Nightshade's core. Anna could see pieces of other universes floating past her ship, strange planets, impossible stars, things that had no names in human language. 10 seconds to core collapse. On the capital planet, Michelle suddenly stood up. "Wait. The readings. There might be a way to close it from the outside. Commander, if you eject the core now." "No time," Anna replied calmly. "Besides, someone needs to make sure this works. The universe gave us a chance to prove ourselves. This is how we do it." 5 seconds. The tears had almost reached the ship now. Anna could feel reality bending around her. Time itself seemed to be slowing down. 3. It's been an honor, she broadcast to all channels. Make it count. 2. In the last moment, Anna thought she saw something through one of the tears, another version of herself, on another nightshade, making the same choice in another universe. 1. The dark matter core exploded, but instead of destroying the ship, it created something new, a tear larger than any before it, but controlled, purposeful. The nightshade sat at its center as reality twisted and broke around it. On every ship and planet in range, sensors went crazy as space itself seemed to fold. The tears that had threatened to destroy everything were pulled toward the nightshade's position, drawn in by the controlled collapse of the dark matter core. It's working, Michelle shouted, watching her readings. The tears are being absorbed into the central void. The universe, it's healing itself. Across the galaxy, the smaller tears began to close as they were pulled into the controlled void. Stars that had been torn apart reformed. Planets that had been broken began to heal. But in the center of it all, the U.S. Nightshade was being pulled deeper into the void it had created. The last transmission from Commander Anna Roberts was clear and calm. Tell Earth we did it. Tell them we proved we deserve our place among the stars. And tell them to be wise with their freedom. The void collapsed in on itself with a flash of light that was seen across the galaxy. When it cleared, the tears were gone. Space was whole again, but so was the Nightshade and its brave commander. 3 months later, the Confederation capital was host to a very different meeting than the one that had started this crisis. Representatives from Earth sat as equals with the alien races, signing new treaties of cooperation and mutual respect. Dr. Michelle Foster stood at a podium, addressing the gathered diplomats. The Dark Matter Project has been completely dismantled, she reported. All data has been sealed away. We've learned our lesson about pushing the boundaries of physics too far. John Cooper, now Earth's Chief of Security for Alien Relations, added, but we've kept our independence. The Confederation has recognized Earth as a full member of the galactic community. The head counselor stood to speak. We too have learned from these events. No species should be treated as inferior. The humans prove that even the youngest races can surprise us, for better or worse. In orbit above the capital, Peter Hall and Lisa Wright stood on the observation deck of their new ship. Through the windows, they could see the spot where the final void had been. Space there looked normal now, but sensitive instruments could still detect a faint echo of what had happened. Do you think she survived? Lisa asked quietly. Somewhere in another universe. Peter smiled. I like to think so. Somewhere out there, in another reality, there's a Commander Roberts still flying her ship, still standing up for Earth, and still teaching the galaxy not to underestimate humanity, Lisa added. Their new ship's engines hummed as they prepared to head home to Earth. The dark matter fleet was gone, but humanity's place in the galaxy was secure. They had proved themselves, not just through their weapons, but through their willingness to sacrifice everything to fix their mistakes. As their ship turned toward Earth, the stars seemed to shine a little brighter. The galaxy was whole again, and a new chapter in human history was beginning. They had wanted freedom and respect. They had gotten both, though the price had been higher than anyone expected. But that was the human way, reaching for the stars, making mistakes, and then doing whatever it took to make things right. The galaxy would remember that, and the name Anna Roberts would be spoken with respect on 1,000 worlds. The age of Earth being treated like children was over. The age of humanity as equal partners in the galaxy had begun. And somewhere, in the deepest parts of space, where reality had been broken and healed, the memory of a brave commander and her ship would live forever.